You ready for this last position grouping?
I am.
All right, now time to talk some O-line. You know we got to talk offensive lineman, man, because, like I said, this is a position that we're going to need. We're going to need to draft him, baby. So, O-lineman get love today. Yes, indeed. All righty. So, man, so it's back on me now. All right. So, at 5, and I'm torn between these guys as well, man. I love my top 2. 3 to 5, I'm iffy. Okay. So at 5, I got Christian Darrisaw, the tackle out of Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Like his size, 6'5", 315-ish, athletic, crazy punch. You watch his punch, oh my God, it's filthy. When I think of a comparison, I was struggling trying to find one. I was thinking of kind of like a DJ Humphrey, but I think DJ Humphrey, that's the tackle that's out in Arizona from University of Florida. I think DJ was a little bit more athletic, but I think Christian is stronger. But my knock on Christian, he could play left or right tackle. His effort. Oh, when I watch him sometimes on tape, it's not as passionate as some of these other guys.
It gets the job done.
And then you see it though, right?
Then it's done.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, it's no extra. You see it too.
Do you need the extra for the play still to be good?
So think about this, right? So when you watch Tevin, the thing we love about Tevin is what? He's not just doing his job.
He's taking people to the sideline.
Right. Like this, you got to ask yourself, do you want somebody that's going to do the bare minimum? Or you want a guy that's going to go above and beyond? When I cut on the tape for Penei Sewell, when I cut on the tape for Rashawn Slater, when I cut on the tape for Tevin Jenkins,
I'm with you.
They above and beyond. I haven't looked and questioned their effort once. And Slater's motor is nowhere near Penei's motor. Not even close. But Slater's motor is still a lot better than Christian. Like Christian's like, all right, I'm gonna kick, I'm gonna punch the heck out you, and after that I'm walking. And I'm not a fan of that.
Is that better long term though? Maybe throughout the course of the game, a little more energy still later
because
on?
you heard of high motor guys, right? What happens when that initial punch, the guy doesn't fall? Because at the NFL level, guys get punched. We get punched all the time as an edge rusher, but contact bounce no different.
You saying you got to fight it out?
Because remember the conversation we had about what in terms of being a hitter versus a tackler. Collegiate level, you can run full speed at a guy, lunge at him, he's gonna fall. Their contact bounces are the same. You run full speed at an NFL running back, you're going to hit him. It's going to sound great. He might even stumble back. But he's just going to keep running. So when I see a tackle that kicks back, great initial punch, and he's kind of like, all right, I'm going to chill. That ain't enough because I know guys that, all right, you punch him. All right, cool. Now he's about to come back with this counter. Now he's about to come back with this. You're going to have to work a lot harder. And for me, just in general, I don't like.
You don't think that's taught easily?
If I got to coach, coaches always tell me I should never have to coach your effort. When I got to talk effort, that turns me off with people. And that's my thing. Like when I watch him, I'm like, he looks good, but the effort is in question. And I shouldn't have to question it. Even if you cut on a highlight, if your highlight tape is showing you still get some of that walking, you should have cut it off as soon as you hit the guy. Just hit the guy, you see him drop, cut the tape. I don't want to see you. I'm like, bro, the play's still going on right now. Like, Go hit somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, it's 11 guys out here. You took out one. Think you can get somebody else? That's my thing.
So, do you think he's completely off our board?
I don't think completely off because he's good. Like he can play right or left. He can come in and be a guy right now. But to me, it's just he's gonna have to learn that at the NFL level, you gotta have a little bit. You gotta have more.
Well, that's my point. Is like with Tomlin and Colbert, are they trying to bring in those guys where we have to teach this? I don't want to waste my time trying to teach this.
That could be. Like seriously, that could be, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know. I didn't know if you had any inside scoop into that.
I don't have an inside scoop in terms of that, but knowing like they're not going to deal with that. But this dude can ball. So if it's scenario, because remember I've seen him slated in the top 15.
Sure.
So if he's a guy that falls,
like if that wasn't an issue, he'd be top 10, huh?
He has that ability. But you just watch him versus Penei versus Rashawn, and you cut the tape and you're just like, bro, Penei has the best motor. Penei's motor reminds me of Pouncey's motor in terms of just height, pulling, like downfield. Like, okay, I blocked this guy. Now I'm going to go get that guy. Okay, I'm going to try to get this guy. Like, that's exciting. When you see your old lineman doing that, imagine if you're the running back and you're running behind that. You want the guy that just hit one guy and stop the walk, or you want the guy that's trying to get every single
These are all
body.
good points.
If you're the quarterback, you want that guy that, all right, you block one guy and you just going to chill. I did my job. I'm good, coach. Or you want the guys to say, all right, I dropped this dude. All right, who else wants some? Who else wants some? I got what? I'm kicking your butt. I'm kicking your butt. I'm kicking your butt too. Like, I want that guy who want all the smoke, not the guy who just want his smoke. So,
So, with all that being said, that's why I come in here, dude. This is why I come into these podcasts.
Here we go.
I have ideas of what I want to do with these rankings. So initially I had Dare saw a 3, and this was based off of just, hey, he's really good. Everyone's saying he's
super good.
technically good and everything.
Yes.
Like he has everything there, but the effort's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, man, how big of a deal is this effort stuff? Maybe it's just him being in college. He just wants to get out of here. I don't know what it is, but maybe that's not as big of a deal. But you laying how big of a deal effort is, especially in college, you don't think it's going to really change in the NFL? Or it's going to be tougher to change in the NFL?
Well, because you
shouldn't be something that's taught.
Right now, as a college athlete, he's competing to do what? Make it to this level so he can get paid. Now, once you get to this level,
maybe he's just like he's doing the efficiency thing.
You see what I
mean? Now he's gonna go off in the NFL.
I'm hoping.
You're right. Hoping. Yeah, it's like,
but it makes
not one
me
of those
concerned,
things where it's
right?
a flip the switch.
Because most of the time they say when you get to the NFL, the money isn't gonna change you. It just puts the spotlight more on who you are. So if you were a lazy person, or you had work ethic questions, or your love for the game was already in question before you got here, it's not going to change when you get an abundance of money now. No, it's going to be highlighted because now you're going to be over here like, I got FU money. Meaning I don't have to show up today because if I retire now,
and I'm a first round pick,
I'm paid, right?
Not saying this is how it's going to be.
Right. We're not. But not at all. That's the thing I get concerned about. Like I said, I don't know the kid personally. Virginia Tech is Virginia Tech. I'm not a Virginia Tech guy. But it's not like not even putting that in it. Just like I said, when I just watch the tape, because that's why I always feel like Coach Tom always says, what the tape is your living, breathing resume. I don't have to hear what you have to say about your play. I don't have to read or write up about your play. I can simply just cut the tape on, and the tape going to tell me exactly what I need to know. It's going to tell me if you're strong. I don't care about your bench press. What does the tape look like? I don't care about your 3-cone drill. What's your tape look like? I don't care what you got to say. What does the tape look like? And that, to me, when I look at the tape, it's like everything else checks good. But that effort, that's effort is like fumbling for running backs for me. Certain things I just don't want to touch. It's like if your running back fumbles, I don't like that. If my lineman, I got to question his effort, I don't like that too much, man.
So this is going to be a switch up for me. He's getting bumped down from 3 to 5. Then I'm with you on that because,
he's
like I said,
good. That's why he's in the top 5. He's
good. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe this effort isn't as big of a deal. We'll do top 3 just based off talent and just everything that he's done outside of the effort. But if effort is as big of a deal that you say, I'm dropping him down to 5. I'm not having any of it with my list. I'm just not. So
I respect that with you, bro. You sound like just a disappointed father right here. It's I'm not dealing with it. Nope. Can't do it.
So I had to do that on the fly. So he's 5. My 4 then. Let me rearrange my notes here a little bit. Control X.
Oh, hold on. It's back on me, right? Because I went first this time, so it's back on you. Got time. You got time.
Go for it.
All right, so
we might have the same top 5 after this switch.
We might. At 4, I have the old lineman out of USC, Elijah Vera Tucker. Now, the reason I say old line because the more I watch him, can he play tackle? Yes, he can play right or left. But to me, he looks like a guard. I think that's going to be his spot.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a guard. I've seen the comparison. They said Will Hernandez with the NFL comparison. I thought more Zach Martin from the Cowboys. Like, just that style in terms of good size on him, right? Because I think with Will Hernandez is smaller, whereas this guy's 6'4", so he has a good amount, like better size on him. But I just like his game, man. I think that he can excel as a guard. I think he can survive as a tackle and be a good tackle, but I think he has like all pro potential at guard. And that's the thing, like with him, but it just comes from when you watch that tape, it's like, can he do it? Yes. But that guard spot, he looks like a man in there. He looks like a monster.
Yeah, like why would you do anything outside of that if you were a team?
It just looks so natural for him. Whereas like, but the problem is this, in terms of why would teams do it, the need.
Yeah. So we see the free agency right now.
Absolutely. So if I have a need at tackle, then even though I think this guy can be a better guard, I'm going to play him at tackle because he can play tackle. He can play left or right tackle. But guard is his natural spot. But that's good flexibility. Think about the Steelers, right? Not saying that we will draft him, but the reason why he has been mocked around to us is because of the versatility. Okay, if we have the right tackle position, say we want to put Banner at right tackle, right? Okay, cool. This guy can play left. All right, well, say Banner is at left tackle, but we want to upgrade. We think he's better than Chooks. He can go play right tackle. All right. Say you want to bump him inside. Say the team isn't all the way sold on Dotson. All right, cool. Bump him inside. Like, or
just Dawson got hurt. That's all.
Like
or
you
DeCastro
can just see
got
like
hurt.
he has the flexibility to play any of those spots. That's to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, so if you're a team like, and you know you have multiple issues on the offensive line like the Steelers have, this is why a guy like him is intriguing because of the flexibility that he's going to play with.
Yeah. So he's got the similar thing with Rashawn Slater then, where they're saying, hey, he could play tackle, but is he best at tackle?
Right.
How big of a deal is this arm size thing? Because everyone's bringing this up now, and they're talking about it with Slater. I think they were talking about it with Vera Tucker.
I've seen it. For me, when I watch these dudes, man, if you are fundamentally sound like they are, I don't think it's going to be as big an issue. Fundamentally sound, stand square, great kick. You know what I mean? In terms of that first that we talked about, I think they'll be fine. I mean, we talk.
They try to do this with quarterbacks too.
They do it with quarterbacks. They do it with edge rushers. Oh man, his arms is long enough. Why is that a pro?
Quarterbacks at the hand.
Yeah. Oh man, his hand was 9 3/8. Oh Lord, it's too small. Like what? Come on, bro. Can he throw the rock? Yes or no? And then, well, when it gets cold and that ball is hard, just put a glove on. All right, cool. But they don't want to do that. But for me, I don't care about the arm length like that. I just look, like I said, when you watch them, they bend well. They great in terms of their fundamentally sound and things like that. And with Elijah, nasty attitude, man. When you watch him play, he has a little bit of that Tevin in him. Not to the same extent as Tevin, but he has that nastiness about him. And from what I've read on him, they say he's a great natural leader too. Like they say he was one of the vocal leaders in our locker room, which I do like as well.
I might have to bump there, so I just off my top 5 list. Maybe I'll put Vera Tucker at 5. So I got Tevin Jenkins at 4. And one of the main reasons, I'm glad you clarified some of this because it's bothering me with all this versatility talk about like, oh, left tackle, guard, center, and all this. I'm like, you just want to put the dude at the best spot, don't you? But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with left tackle, though, because left tackle is probably just around the league. It's such a big need at this point. But I just feel like you want that one guy at the one position that they're most comfortable with. So, like, I guess I see what you're saying with versatility, how it's an asset. But I could also see how it's like, you know, whenever they talk about 2 quarterbacks, like if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1 quarterback. Right. If you have your lineman just bouncing everywhere, he's not excelling at his one position.
So they said this was the thing with Elijah, and I don't know if it was injury related or not. In 2019, he solely played guard. Loved him at guard. 2020 is when he moved to tackle. I don't know why.
And he was initially gonna opt out. Then he came back. Then they put him at left tackle. But then he balled out at left tackle.
So to me, that's why I look at that as a positive. Now I do get what you're saying in terms of some of these guys where it's like, all right, I forgot. I think it was actually Tevin Jenkins. He started out one game at was it Tevin? I might be drawing a blank on him. But the kid started out, I think it was like at left. No, he started at right tackle. Then it was like, oh man, played one game there, moved him into left guard, and they stayed there for the rest of the season.
I think wasn't Jenkins right tackle the whole time, or most of the time,
or maybe I flip flopped it there. Yeah, I might have flip flopped, but it was something like that. So it's like when it's something like that, I'm like, okay, well, maybe that, right? Because like, why would you be moving this guy around multiple times? But then they said once they made the move, he stayed there for the rest of the year. With these guys, though, in terms of who we're talking right here, I don't think it's going to be as concerning. Whereas, like, when we talked about here in Pittsburgh, all right, Gerald Hawkins, for example, right? Could he bump in and play guard? Could he play right? Could he be
like I see that more as like a backup thing for versatility as opposed to the starter.
Right. Whereas with these guys, I think they're simply saying in terms of the versatility as a positive, like, if you want this guy to be your 16-game starter at guard, he can be your 16-game starter at guard. If you want him to start at 16 games at right tackle, he could do that. At left tackle, he could do that. It's just personal preference, but because each team is going to have different needs, if you got 2 stud tackles, you might be saying, I love this prospect, but I don't want him at tackle because I got this guy who's getting 100, this guy who's getting 60. All right, I'm going to draft him and put him at guard. He'll play guard for the next 2-3 years, and then we'll go from there. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a scenario like that. So that's why the versatility for him isn't a negative. It just gives teams more ability to do what they feel is going to be best for their team to get the best 5 linemen out there.
What are you saying if you're a first or second round pick like one of these guys? In an interview, they say, what do you play? But you know your best position is like guard. Do you say, I'll do whatever's best for the team? Or do you say, I'm just a guard?
No,
because I feel like that could screw up your career if you're like, I'm willing to play left tackle, but then you just aren't as productive at left tackle or right tackle.
Well, it depends on his mindset.
Yeah.
If he's trying to get, drafted higher, you say, I'm a left tackle. And one of these hungry teams will take you as a left tackle. If you're just trying to get into the best fit for you, you say, well, man, I think I'm a better guard. I'm a more natural guard. Okay, so this team that needs a left tackle might say, all right, well, we're going to pass on him and go with this guy. Now, the difference, though, could be, $5 to $10 million depending on that team that's passing on you. So that's why I said it's a lot more than just that simple conversation.
Maybe potential second contract.
But you know how hard it is to get to that second contract.
Sure. You're thinking
no
money right away.
Right. It's no guarantee for the second contract. That's and we told you the career average, it doesn't matter if you're a first round pick or undrafted guy, it was 2.5 to 3 years tops. Like, that don't matter where you're drafted. Think about how many guys coming in are bust every year. Like, we see that. So yeah, to be planning for that second contract and you ain't got out of that first one yet, a little iffy.
Okay. Got you. So at 4, I got Tevin Jenkins. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about last week with him. We love that, I guess, that second gear that he has. He's just going to take people to the sidelines, knock them over the Gatorade coolers, knock them to the ground. Even, like I think I seen on a touchdown. He was, like, taking them all the way down.
It's almost the back of the end zone.
Yeah, like crazy, man. So, I like him. Everything I've read, everything I've watched on him, there's really no downside. Outside of, I think someone's been bringing up his arm length now.
Okay.
But it seems like he has all the tools. Maybe one of the knocks was that he's more of a right tackle as opposed to a left tackle. Yeah. But if you're going to put him at right tackle, he's going to be the guy for you. Yes. So maybe that's where the lack of versatility is a knock a little bit. But if you just want your right tackle to be a starter for you the next 5, 6, 7 years, then he's the guy. So I like that. So I'm going Tevin Jenkins at 4.
All right. So I have Tevin at 3. Everything you just said, I echo, man. His nastiness, even though I feel like he's going to be a better player, it reminds me of the Blindside movie. Remember, he's like, he's taking the kid all the way out the back. Like, that's what it looks.
Ower had a good career, though.
He did. Right tackle, though, right?
Yeah.
They tried him at right tackle. And you can still be a great right tackle. Think about Marcus Gilbert. Marcus Gilbert got paid a ton of money and played a long time in this league at right tackle. It's nothing wrong with being a right tackle. That whole taboo of it's got to be left, I don't feel like it has to be like that anymore. If you're a great player, you're a great player. Mitchell Schwartz has been all-pro, has been one of the most dominant offensive linemen in this league, and he plays right tackle only. There's nothing wrong with that. So with Tevin, I like him as a right tackle. I think he would excel there. I love the nastiness. The reason why I have him at 3 and not higher, I just think that the top 2 guys in terms of Slater and Panay, I think they're more athletic than he is. But as a whole, I think, man, with Tevin, for what he might lack in arm length or athletic ability, he more than makes up for with effort and just nastiness and his finish. We talk about what makes me excited about a guy. When we cut his tape on, what's the first thing you see? We don't even have to be, oh man, is this guy going to fit? No. As soon as you cut the tape, you're like, oh, this guy is crazy. He's a psycho. He trying to finish everybody. And you can just see the effort. You see the energy and how it's night and day from Christian. And I'm just like, that's what I want my offensive lineman to look like. I love that about him, man.
Sure. I'm trying to think, is there anything else on Jenkins I wanted to bring up? Yeah, it might be good. There might have been one more thing. I can't remember though. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good on Jenkins. So that's 4.
Yep. So that was my 3. I had Tevin at 3, so you're on your 3 now.
Oh shit. Oh wow. So this one's a risky one for me, but I'm going Dickerson, the center, Alabama.
Okay.
This one's risky just because of the injuries. If there were no injuries,
that was the reason for me, man.
Yeah, and I guess you could say center too, like the inside of an offensive line is a little bit less valuable than the tackle position.
Yeah.
But just as an offensive lineman as a whole, this dude checks all the boxes.
He does.
He's really good, dude. Even like the size and everything, just the injuries are the concern. That's it. So this is a little bit risky for me. His career could play out where he's injured a lot, but when he's on the field, he's really good. Yeah. So that's about it, man. I mean, he's a really solid player.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad call for us to take him, honestly.
I'm with you. I have him as an honorable mention. It's the injury. That's the part. If it was,
a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I just
just as a player though, I got him in this top 5.
That makes me nervous. Yeah, just because we know how I guess how it can hurt your roster when you have a guy that's so talented that you have to keep him active, but they're constantly in and out of the lineup where they're missing multiple weeks at a time, but you don't want to IR them because you're just like, yo, he's too viable. If he ever is ready to go, he has to go out there. It just makes me nervous. I just don't like that feeling.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good first round, maybe second round with him. That'd be kind of nice.
It would be. Yeah, but that's my whole thing with him though, man.
So yeah, I got him at 3.
I like that though, man. All right.
Our 1 and 2 is probably the same, man.
It's got to be, right?
I got Slater and Sewell.
Yeah, same here. For me, when I looked at Slater, he reminds me of Mitchell Schwartz, the same tackle I was talking about in terms of just.
You think you go right tackle then?
I personally would, but I wouldn't be opposed if he played left. His footwork is there. I mean, really good.
As opposed to guard, though.
You could put him there as well, but that's the thing. When we talk about, literally, I have it written down right here. I said can play guard, right, or left tackle. Like,
what do you think his better position is, though? Because with Barrett Tucker, you're thinking guard. What about with Slater?
For me, for Slater, I like him at right tackle. I like him at guard.
Okay.
Like, he reminds me of Mitch. Like, when I watch Mitchell Schwartz, like, that same build in terms of beefy, lower half, but really good just in terms of fundamental. Everybody, I watched the Chase Young. I was like, yo, everybody talking about how he handled Chase. I was like, let me see it. And I'm like, all right, he's fundamental. And the more I watch him, I'm just like, his game would irritate me because he reminds me of how Mitchell Schwartz's game is. And Mitchell Schwartz's game, he irritates Von Miller, he irritates all these type of guys because he's very fundamental and he just knows what he's doing. He understands the position, and that's what Rashawn brings to the table. So that's why I have him at 2. I like his game a lot, though, man.
I was thinking with him,
I like his game.
Just slot him at guard. A lot of people have been comparing him to Pouncey with some of the athleticism and how he can get down the field and stuff. Even center, like, they're saying he can play center.
Yes, I've seen that.
Like, this is just crazy to me. Like, he's going into this draft process. It goes back to what I was saying. He doesn't know what team is going to pick him for what position.
But honestly, though, a lot of prospects deal with that. Like, for me, for example.
Right? Oh, yeah.
When I was coming out, I had, 80% of the teams wanted me as an inside linebacker. The other 20% wanted me as an outside linebacker. And it was the whole, well, we know he was crazy productive as an edge guy, but size-wise, it doesn't really compute. You know what I mean? You don't think it can translate to the bigger, longer, faster defenders, but he's great prototypical size for an inside linebacker. So for me, I go from never playing inside to going to Buffalo as a draft pick to play inside linebacker. So with Rashawn, it could be a similar thing where he's like, man, I haven't played guard in whenever. I haven't played center all my life, but this team might say, hey, we love what we see on tape from you. We feel like you can translate into this. We got a staff that's going to believe in you, and we're going to do this with you right here. So this is one of the things just kind of like, dang, all right, we're going to make the best of it. You know what I mean? But for him, like I said, I don't know him personally either. I haven't watched a lot of his interviews to see his mindset and stuff like that. But some guys, they like that ability to just, all right, well, I love being able to say, I'm a beast at this position. I'm a beast at that position. Then other guys say, I just want to be the best at this position only.
Remember Dotson's interview? We were like, what do you like, left guard or right guard?
What did he say?
He was just like, right guard.
I want to play right guard. He's like, I don't like left guard. I feel uncomfortable over there. I just don't like it. I don't feel as powerful. The footwork. And what do we always say? You're going to be left guard, baby. That's what you playing.
Yeah, he's gonna be starting left guard this year. Yeah.
So same concept is like, all right, you might be comfortable over here, but we might say, man, you're a better player at this spot right here. So,
or at least what we need.
Right. Absolutely. Man, did we do that? I think I forgot to do this, man. We already got to our second pick. But, man, put your top 5 rankings for the offensive line in there as well, man. I don't think we did that. Definitely put your top 5 offensive line rankings for this draft. All right, got that out of my system. I'm good now.
Number one, then.
Get your subscription.
Number one, then. 2. Talk to me about him. Like, what's
Trent
the knock?
Trent Williams. That's who he is.
Okay.
He reminds me of Trent Williams. 6'6", 330. Great athlete, man. Great athletic ability. You watch him move. I told you, when I see him downfield, some of his downfield work looks like Pouncey. When you see Pouncey downfield making a block, and you're just like, yo, what are you doing down this far? That's the type of thing that I love about him. The energy. Like, he has that contagious energy. He's the type of guy that he blocks you, he blocks this guy. He want to celebrate with the running back. He throwing his arms like he live. Like, he got that energy where he's like, yo, you like a fun guy to hang with, man. Like, that's the vibe that I get when I see him. He has the nastiness as well. You see, he's the vocal leader. Every clip you see of him, he's got the war paint on. He's getting the truth. I love that. That's what I want with my guys. To me, and this is what I wrote up here. I say he's Trent Williams, and then I said he's a pass rusher's worst nightmare. Why do I say that? Big enough to handle the bull, fast enough to handle the speed rush. When you're a guy like that, man, as a pass rusher, you're asking yourself, all right, how do I beat this guy? Certain guys, you're like, all right, you're a big guy, cool. Speed rush, you to definitely make you move laterally. Some of these guys, you're like, okay, he's a great lateral tackle, right? He can move side to side, but he can't handle that bull rush. All right, cool. I'm going to hit him with that stutter bull. I'm going to hit him with that Kevin Green 1, 2, 3, third step, turn into on straight power. But with a guy like Panay, you're like, none of that's happening right now. You're not bullying 6'6", 330, but then he's so athletic and fast that you're not running around him either. And to me, I think that's the biggest reason in terms of why he's the consensus, like, number 1 offensive lineman, and he just separates himself from everyone else. It's different. I mean, like you said, you cut the tape on. You see it. It's just like, yo, this is a crazy guy out here going, like, he's just trying to take everybody out. I love it. Yeah.
Now, is there a knock? Is there a flaw? Because everyone is, like, so high on him. I'm wondering, is there a little bit of an overhype, though, based off maybe some of that, where it's like, oh, the nastiness, the effort, and all that stuff?
I don't feel like you have to overhype him. Like I said, you just turn his tape on, watch what he can do in terms of, Can he handle the speed rush? Can he bend?
So yeah, aside from like the splash stuff that he's doing, he's like really technically sound.
He's fundamental.
Yeah.
That's what makes him be able to do those things. But when you have a fundamental player who has elite level athletic ability, that's where it's different. That's where you start talking about where some of these other guys is more, all right, you might be all pro. With him, it's like, bro, that could be Hall of Fame type. Like, that's what you have right now. Can it translate? We think it can. Can you stay healthy? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, that's more the look, because I'm looking at this tape like, I don't see a lot of people you're going to have problems with right now. Like, I just personally don't. I think that he's that type of guy. The same with Trent Williams. When Trent Williams came out, it was like, all right.
Was he the 4th pick?
Yeah, he was the 4th overall pick. You're like, all right, well, nitpick what you want to say is bad about him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's too aggressive. That said no one ever when it comes to offensive lineman. You're too fundamental. You're too athletic. Nah. So to me, I look at him the same way. When I watch him on tape, I'm just like, bro, it shows, it flashes. I don't even have to talk. You just play it. It's just like, would you want that guy on your team? Would you take him with the 1st round pick? Absolutely. Like, he just flashes.
Did the Steelers trade up?
No.
What if he's dropping to 10?
Up that far, man.
10?
From 24? Bro, we ain't trading up that far, bro.
Would it be worth it?
To me, yeah, but we're not doing that. What you would have to give up.
That would cost us the draft.
Yeah, you would have to give up too much.
2nd and 3rd.
Easily.
This year.
Easily.
Maybe, could you finagle it where it's...
Nah, bro. This is a $100 million tackle. That's what this is. This is, like I said, when you drafted, when the Washington football team drafted Trent Williams, they said we don't have to worry about the left tackle spot for the next 10 years. When the 49ers just gave Trent Williams that $100 million contract, they said we're not worried about this position for the next 5 years, because obviously he's up there in age now. But it's like, we're not worried about you because we know what you're going to bring to the table. We know your dominance. We know it doesn't matter who they put out there against you. We don't have to worry about that part of the protection anymore. That's special. That's what Penei is.
Cool.
So, yeah, like I said, we could try to nitpick it, but, well, I think he ties his shoes. You know, he goes his left foot first instead of the right foot. We can nitpick that. If we want to nitpick the swag, oh, well, anybody could do the face paint. Why don't you put something else? If we could do that, cool. He looks swaggy with the 58 on as well. Seeing that number at tackle, you're like, whoa.
Can you do that in the NFL?
Not right now. No.
The New Jersey rules, maybe?
But it will be tight, though.
Yeah.
Just say, you see that 50 number, it's like, yo, you just look athletic. Like, that 58, he looks like, I'm like, bro, can you play a little defense? You play a little D-line? You try to cross it? First two-way player in the NFL? You want to do that? Starting O-line and D-line? I'm with it. He's athletic enough for it. That's all I'm saying, man.
Okay.
But I love his game.
No, I'm glad you clarified that, because, I check out the highlights with him. Everyone's saying he's amazing. He's like this generational talent. So, because, dude, sometimes I'm watching these guys, like, you compare, like, Jenkins highlights to Sewell's. I'm like, I mean, what's the big difference here? But if you're saying on a play-in by play-out basis, this dude's technically sound too, along with all the highlights that you see and stuff that
bigger.
people are talking
think about this with in terms of with Rashawn, right? In terms, like, this dude's 30 pounds and 2 inches taller. Now he's closer in size to Tevin. Tevin's 6'6", 320. Like I said, Penei is 6'6", 330. But Penei looks like the better athlete. When we think franchise $100 million left tackle, that's what Penei looks like to me.
Now, what's the deal with Oregon and those like little ACL sleeves that they have on their knees?
I don't.
Because do you see he has them on both?
Oh no! The braces.
Yeah.
O-linemen wear. O-linemen are supposed to wear.
Just in general.
Yeah, it protects you because you can't worry. Like, think about if I'm protecting, right? I might not fall, but if you knock your guy into my knees, that's why. So it's to protect their knees. Yeah. You look at offensive linemen in general in the NFL. A lot of them always, or at least their inside leg is going to be protected. They're going to have at least a brace on that. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Absolutely. Because dudes,
because they were really noticeable with Oregon's offensive line.
Yeah,
I was
just
like,
because the jerseys.
Did Penei's knees get jacked up, or is that just everyone on the Oregon's offensive line?
Some schools, I mean, I think Pitt, they make their players practice, their defensive players practicing knee braces. Just because, like, at the collegiate level, man, guys still fall. Like, at the NFL level, honestly, in practice, you should never hit the ground. Like, that's just how great athletes are at that level. Collegiately, you're still going to have guys hitting the ground. You play some of these smaller programs, guys fall. And when guys fall, that's how guys get hurt. And not just the person falling. He's usually going to fall into the better athlete knees. You know what I mean? So that's why the O-line, because there's close proximity like that, bigger bodies, guys getting jerked around like that, they put the braces on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's all that is, man. No concerns right there. You're
cool,
good, bro.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Oh, all right. So let's see what people have for these rankings. All right. So
what do they have there? So
A. Farrell. Here we go. At 5, he has Randuz. That's the cat from North Dakota State.
Okay.
Yep. Then at 4, he has Vera Tucker. At 3, Jenkins. At 2, Slater. Then at 1, he has Panay. So no Darasol on his. All right, let me see what Douglas Souza. Shout out to Douglas. At 5, he has Creed Humphrey. Now, he's the person I thought about a little while.
Wow.
Yeah, he has, where were we at? Man, the comment just moved. All right, here we go, Douglas. All right. Yeah, at 5, he has Creed Humphrey. At 4, Vera Tucker. At 3, Jenkins. 2, Slater. And then at 1, he has Sewell. I butcher his last name every time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because I've heard it as Sewell. I've heard it as Sewell. Like, I don't know if they pronounce the W or not. And that's my thing. Like, is it Sewell or Sewell?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, though.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm like, how do I pronounce this?
The cat from Oregon. And I'm trying to see, is there any other? Oh, all right. Cole Fitzsimmons has, all right, he has a slash at 5. He has Creed Humphrey / Christian Darasol at 5.
Okay.
All right. Then at 4, he has Elijah Vera Tucker. At 3, Tevin Jenkins. All right.
A lot of people high on Jenkins.
Yeah, now he has a different right here, though. At 2, he has Panay. At 1, Rashawn Slater.
Whoa. Hot take.
All right. That is definitely the hot take right there. All right. I like it, though, man. Hey, that's the beauty of this, right? Like, it's opinionated. It's difference of views and different preferences as well, man. So I like that. Sure. All right. And then we got Vikesh. He has... Let's see. Oh, he has a whole list of people up there. Wait a minute.
He's got the 6-round sleepers.
Oh yeah. His thing is he has like an O tackle. He has Panay at 1, Rashawn at 2, Tevin at 3, Christian at 4, and then Sam Cosme at 5. Then he has an inside offensive line ranking with Landon Dickerson at 1, Creed Humphrey at 2, Elijah Vera Tucker at 3, Ben Cleveland at 4, and then Aaron Banks at 5.
Gotcha.
And then shout out to Joey. Joey has Deke at 5. Deke at 4, Deke at 3, Deke at 2, and guess who's number 1?
I gotta say Penny.
Deke. So shout out to y'all, man, for y'all participation today.
Dude, I'm
man.
more
y'all.
like third string quarterback, practice squad QB. That's kind of my position, probably. Yeah.
See, I thought you had like that long snapper vibe. Like I could just see a Ken Kennedy type dude with you, man. A Greg Warren type. Just yeah.
No, I'm like clipboard Jesus, dude. I'm just standing on the sidelines.
Just for the antics.
Yeah, I'll throw some dots in practice and stuff. Yeah. Throw some, just off the scene, off the actual game. I'll throw my highlight reel on Instagram and everything. I'll look amazing, but you don't want to see me in the actual game.
You are funny. He said, "I'm gonna throw my highlights on Instagram. It's gonna look good."
Yeah.
I like it though, man. That was solid right there, man.
That was fun as hell.